All right. Okay. Pray silence. May I acquire thine utmost attention, esteemed ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished guests of the realm. I, your humble Sergeant at Arms, do hereby declare this grand assembly of Toastmasters to be officially commenced. Before we permit the evening's oratory to unfold, it is my bounden duty to decree the sacred house rules of that governs this digital estate. Let me share my screen. I implore thee to heed them well. Decree the first. Be on punctuality and presence. Be present and be on time. It is requested that thou dost arrive early and remain steadfast until the final curtains fall, for thy very presence matters deeply to the congregation. Decree the second, on thine digital identity. Thou must remain thyself in the grand ledger of Zoom. If thou art a role taker, style thyself as role-name. If thou art an honored Toastmasters, use TM-name, and if thou art our welcome guest, write G-name. Decree the third, on supporting the order of the meeting. Show thy noble support through thy digital contraption. Mute thy microphone when the floor is not thine. Unveil thy visage by turning on thy camera and share bountiful supportive message within the public chat box. Decree the fourth, on the preservation of peace and kindness. Keep it safe and keep it kind. I charge thee to strictly avoid sensitive and controversial topics, such as politics or religion. Let us maintain this chamber as a harmonious and supportive sanctuary for all. Decree the fifth, the most sacred charge. And above all else, thou must have fun. As the legendary founder of our international order, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, so wisely proclaimed, we learn best in the moments of enjoyment. Therefore, let us smile, connect with one another, and speak truth directly from the heart. Furthermore, my noble peers, I shall not govern this grand digital estate single-handedly today. Allow me to introduce the fine stewards who compromises our SA team, the Zoom Master Cafe Meridin, the welcoming ambassador. It was me and Kat Leonie. Now, without further ado, the decree has been spoken. It is my distinct privilege to pass the virtual floor to our esteemed president. Kat Leonie, the stage is yours.
Thank you, VVO. And now, before we start this bidding, I would like to give you a little bit of information about SCBD Toastmasters Club. Next, please. We are supportive, connected, brave, and developing together since 2005. We are part of Toastmaster International. It is a non-profit organization that has been established since 1924 with more than 270,000 members across 150 countries. And as part of Toastmaster International, we have club values and club mission. So everyone, please unmute yourself and help me to read out our club values today. Everyone, Our club values are
Integrity,
respect,
respect,
service,
service,
excellence.
excellence.
excellent. And now our club mission is
We
We
provide
provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are
in
empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth.
thank you so much. So those are our club values and our club mission. Now, the question is why should you join Toastmasters? Because first, you can build your confidence. How? By consistently delivering speeches and taking roles in our weekly club meetings just like today. Second, you can learn to turn ideas into action by working on real practical projects in the Toastmasters Pathways model. Third one, you can improve your life quality by practicing communication skills like active listening and giving evaluation in Toastmasters. Because at the end, your competence only goes as far as your ability to communicate. Next, please. Okay, I would like to welcome our supporting presenting Toastmasters for today. First one, Akila Lean, president of BRICS Plus Advanced Toastmasters Club. Nina Arifa, president of Pekanbaru Toastmasters Club. Henrich Wardana, VP of Tangerang Toastmasters Club. Maria Margareta Arlene, member of Jakarta Toastmasters Club. And Nur Amalina, VPBR of Labuan Toastmasters Club. Thank you so much, and please give a round of applause for our supporting visiting Toastmasters for today. And now, okay, so that is all for me as your club president for today. Without further ado, with the power vested in me, I would like to officially open this meeting by saying happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Now I would like to hand the control to our Toastmasters of the day, none other than our past president, Toastmaster Garda Widi Nuraga.
Thank you, Madam President, and happy morning to fellow Toastmasters and visiting guests, or we prefer to call it soon-to-be Toastmasters. My name is Garda. I'm delightful to be your Toastmasters of the meeting, or sometimes in other event, we call it as the host for today's meeting. So for the next 2 hours, we are going to witness. Why do I say witness? Because in this session, Activity Toastmasters Club is proudly presenting a Speakathon session. Let's give a round of applause to the upcoming speakers who are going to deliver their speeches in our club. Why do we say this is going to be exciting, especially for this Speakathon? Because not only do we have the usual or the regular 3 speakers, especially for the members who are going to present or deliver their speeches or projects, but we are going to have in total of 7 speakers, comprising 5 individual members who are going to present or deliver their projects in respect to the Toastmasters pathway or the educational program, and the additional 2 speakers. One will be the Edu speaker, that will be from our own member of SUD Toastmasters, and our special guest coming from District 85, which is Akil, who is also a winner, the champion for the international speech contest in District 85, who will advance to the semi-final. I am excited to listen, and this is going to be a breakthrough, just like our theme for today, which is, like you can see this, breaking through your screen. And I would like to also remind every single one of you to use the word of the day. Maybe for some of you who are not familiar with what is actually the word of the day, it's actually kind of the vocabulary that is encouraged, highly encouraged for you if you are given the opportunity to speak throughout this session to use the word of the day, which is pathfinder. All right? Because it will also train and enhances you to elevate more of your English speaking, because as we all know that as Indonesian, most of us, it is not common or because English is not our native language. So you are in the best way and place to train and enhance your English public speaking skills by joining us as SBD Toastmasters Club. Now, I would like to ask one participant, maybe our visiting member. I instantly spot Toastmaster Amalina from Labuan Toastmasters Club. Hello, Toastmaster Amalina. Oh no, why you are turning off your camera?
Sorry, I'm gonna hurt myself. Okay, hi,
All right.
Gabriel.
Hi, how are you doing, Toastmaster Amelina?
Hi, I'm doing good, I guess. Was running to get internet. That's why I came back to hospital.
Hope you're staying sound and hope you already wrap up your day, right? Okay,
Okay.
so Toastmaster Amelia, thank you so much for joining our meeting today. This is actually one of the regular stuff that we are always use in activity Toastmasters. So I would like to ask one question to you that's also already written in the background. Okay, so what's the most innovative idea that you have ever done, Toastmaster Amelina? Maybe you can share with us a little bit.
What's my most innovative idea?
Yeah.
I'm not really a thinker. I'm more of a doer. Well, what's my most innovative idea? Mm, I think I really like to wear very, how to say it, not revealing clothes, but I want to make it well halal. In other words, I can wear it everywhere I go. So I've
Wow.
learned to layer my clothes in a way that even though it looks like you're gonna see something, but no, you're not. So I really figured out how to do that every day to make sure that I remain very covered but still look good. And that's how I innovate my life to survive through my wishes in life. I think that's how I can think of something. That's all for me, Gada. Back to you.
Thank you, Melina, for sharing. That's also actually one of the most innovative thing that I just heard tonight, because look at you. You also embody the innovative way to dress up, even if that maybe you can have sort of, new clothing in your wardrobe, for instance, but you can always some mix and match so that you can always do some breakthrough, right? On your daily basis. Gotcha. Thank you so much, Mister Melina. And now, to begin with, I'm going to also introduce our rangers. See these beautiful and standing three members, okay? And these are the team that are going to help me with regard to today's meeting, okay? The first one, we have our very own Toastmaster Nata, our Vice President Public Relations elect. Toastmaster Nata is going to be the general evaluator. At the end of this session, she is going to lead the evaluation session whereby the evaluators and also her team will be delivering their own respective evaluations with regard to this meeting. And we have our very own Toastmaster Nova, who is going to be our timer. Later on, Toastmaster Nova, I will also explain about the timing allotment. And last, we have our very own President-elect Toastmaster Sonny is going to be the ballot counter to collect your votes. Who are amongst your individual speakers and also evaluators is your favorite. And now with regard to the time allotment, that is really essential here in Toastmasters. Toastmaster Naval here, can I have Toastmaster Naval highlighted and also spotlighted?
Yes.
Okay, you can see Toastmaster Naval is raising his hands virtually, not literally, just figuratively, okay? So with regard to the timing allotment, since we are going to have 7 speakers, and all of them are going to deliver 5 to 7 minutes speech. So in 5 minutes, Toastmaster Naval will change his background into green, which means that you are eligible to be voted as the favorite speaker of today. And in 6 minutes, Toastmaster Naval's background will be changed into yellow. It means that you need to wrap up or you need to come to the closing or you need to bear in mind so that you will not be, over time to get the vote. And last, in 7 minutes, Toastmaster Naval's background will be changed into red. It means that you definitely need to wrap up your speech in less than 30 seconds because if you exceed the time in 7 minutes and 30 seconds, that means you are not eligible to be voted. But nonetheless, we are going really excited to hear and witness your splendid speeches. Thank you, Toastmaster Novel, and thank you, our team. Let me get back to you later. Why do I say it's very important and really excitement? Because these are the lineups for today's meeting. So, to begin with our sessions, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Taufik Chandra as he is going to deliver his Edu series speech. Okay? This Edu series speech will be in 5 to 7 minutes, and Toastmaster Taufik will enlighten us about the impromptu speech. Can I have Toastmaster Taufik on the screen?
Oh, hi, Toastmaster Garda. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
Toastmaster Taufik. Yes, I can hear you clearly. Let me find you. Okay, where are you? There you are. Hold on. Ah, there you are. Oh,
Oh,
still the virtual background.
yeah,
Ah, it's
I
like the
got
magic,
you.
you know? It's like the magic. You can reveal yourself after that.
Yeah, wait
All
a
right.
minute.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you Toastmaster Taufik Chandra.
Thank you so much. Before I start, I would like to share my screen first. Oh, wait a minute. Mm. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Everything's okay. Okay. Happy morning, Photos Masters and guests. Morning.
Happy
Happy
morning.
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 Good morning. Thank you so much. Let me start with a question. So, have you ever been asked a questions and immediately thought, "Oh no, why did they ask me that?" Anyone? Maybe it was during a job interview. Maybe your boss suddenly asks for your opinion in a meeting, or maybe you were called for table topics and had absolutely no idea what you want to say. And most people think good impromptu speakers are naturally gifted, but the truth is different. The best impromptu speakers are not faster thinkers, they simply have a process. And today, I would like to share a simple blueprint that can help anyone speak clearly and confidently, even when they have no time to prepare. Okay, wait a minute. Right. So, impromptu speaking is not just a Toastmaster skill. We use it every day. Think about this situation, a job interview when you need an answer to unexpected questions from the interviewer, right? A workplace discussion where someone asks for your opinion, or maybe a phone call from a customer or a client who needs immediate answers. And in all this situation, there is no script, and yet people expect us to communicate clearly. The good news is that impromptu speaking is a skill, not a talent. And like any skill, it can be learned and improved through practice. Today, we'll focus on three parts of the blueprint. First, the process, a simple 5-step formula that helps you respond smoothly. Second, the strategy, for ways to organize your ideas. And third, last but not least, the mindset, three habits that make your delivery more effective. And let's start with the process. Okay, the five step formula is listen, pause, confirm, tell, and end. Think of it as a roadmap. Whenever you're caught off guard, simply follow these 5 steps. And let's look at them one by one. So the first step is listen. And many people are busy thinking about their answers and they stop listening to the questions. Instead, I would like to recommend you focus completely on what the other person is saying. When you listen carefully, part of the answers often reveal itself. The second step is pause. And yes, silence is okay. It also makes you appear more thoughtful and confident. And remember, a few seconds of silence sounds much better than saying, ah, you know, 10 times, right? Okay, the third step is confirm. It means you need to repeat or rephrase the question. For example, I would like to ask like, so the question is, what is the most important leadership skill, right? And by asking this, it serves two purposes. First, it confirms that you understood the question correctly. Second, it gives you a few extra seconds to organize your thoughts. And the fourth step is tell. This is where you deliver your message. Be enthusiastic and stay focused and resist any temptation to cover every possible angle. Your goal here is not to say everything. Your goal is to say something clear. The fifth and the final step is end. Many speakers continue talking long after they have already made their point. Don't do that. Once you deliver your message, summarize your key idea, finish confidently, and smile. A strong ending leaves you a stronger impressions than a longer ending. Now that we have covered process, let's talk about structure. When you're thinking on your feet, it helps to have a framework. And I would like to give you four framework that you can use. The first is express an opinion. State your opinion and support it with reasons. Second, cause and effect. Explain what caused a situations and what the consequences might be. Third, components. Break a large topic into a smaller part and discuss each one. And the fourth is timeline. Talk about the past, present, and future. And these four frameworks can organize almost any impromptu questions. And let's imagine the topic. So the topic is, should people work remotely? So let's answer this with those following framework. Using the first one, using the opinion strategy, you would state your position and explain why. If you use cause and effect, you could discuss what led to remote work and its impact. If you use components, you might examine productivity, communications, and work-life balance. If you are using timeline, you could compare work before remote and then what happened today and what going to happen in the future. It's different structure, right? But the same topic. And that framework will help you organize even when you are thinking quickly. All right. So finally, let's talk about the mindset. There are three things to remember. The first, be confident. Confidence doesn't mean having all the answers. It means being comfortable, taking a moment to think. So take a pause, it's okay. Second, be brave. A focused answer is usually stronger than a long answer. And please stick to your point. Don't beat around the bush, but just stick to your point. And last but not least, be sincere. If you don't know the answers, it's okay to say so. People respect honesty far more than pretending to be an expert. So when you combine confidence, brevity, and also sincerity, your impromptu speaking becomes much more effective, I believe. So let me leave you with one final thought. People often say impromptu speaking is about thinking fast. I disagree. Impromptu speaking is really about having a system. When you follow five-step processes, use a simple structure, and maintain the right mindset, you can handle almost any speaking situation with confidence. The next time someone asks you unexpected questions, don't be panicked. Just remember, listen, pause, confirm, tell, and end. Because spontaneity is not magic, it's preparation in disguise. Thank you.
Wow, Let's give a round of applause to our edu speaker, Toastmaster Taufik, who happens to be also our Vice President Education elect for the next term. So this is also a call to action for each and every one of you. If you'd like to hear more of educational sessions in SCBD Toastmasters, because Toastmaster Taufik will be there, right, as our VPE. So thank you, Toastmaster Taufik, for enlightening us with regard to the 543 formula. And I truly love the last part that you mentioned about the be brief, be confident, and also be sincere in every time you deliver that impromptu speech, because that is really essential and truly useful in our daily lives. Now we are going to have and witness the next speaker, none other than our special guest from District 85, who is distinguished Toastmaster Akil Alimi. I hope I do pronounce your name correctly. And today, we also have the evaluator, who is none other than our Madam President, who is going to introduce Toastmaster Akil. So Toastmaster Leonie, over to you.
So one of the perks of being in Toastmasters is getting a front row seat to speeches before they make it to the contest stage. Tonight, we're lucky to have exactly that. And I am also honored to be the evaluator for Toastmaster Akil. So before I introduce Toastmaster Akil, distinguished Toastmaster Akil, would you like to test the audio first?
Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Do you have anything to say before speech, or should I introduce you right away?
Thank you for the opportunity. I do have something to say. 2 requests. The first is, if we are recording, if we could pause during my speech just to make sure that the speech stays confidential, that would be really, really helpful for me. The
Got it.
second request, thank you. The second request is, I know that I'm going to get so much feedback from you all, and I already know it's going to be really helpful. So I'm going to send the feedback form in the chat box. If you all could just, when you have time, send some feedback, whatever thoughts you have, into that feedback form so that I can continue to polish my speech, I would be eternally grateful. Thank you so much.
All right. So those are 2 requests that Distinguished Toastmaster Akil asked, and I think we could all give. Okay. Now, please, all of us, let us welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Akil Alin. 2 choices. Distinguished Toastmaster Akil Alin.
Let's give a round of applause to our special guest speaker, Toastmaster Akil. I couldn't get my sight out of the screen. Every single word coming out of your speech was truly captivating. And thank you for reminding us about the choices that we had to make in this world. Sometimes it is really, easy to make choices, but at the end of the day, it's hard when it comes down to, it's us against the world, sometimes as simple as that. But thank you very much for putting those stories into very simple but meaningful way, so we all can learn on how to make choices in every single time that we do on our living. Thank you to Master Akil. And just like what he reminded to every one of us at the beginning, he already dropped the link in the chat box. So everyone, you are highly encouraged to give feedback to Toastmaster Akils with regard to his performance earlier. So that's something that can be formulated into the better performance on the next round. And this is also one of the essential things in Toastmasters, that not only do we deliver a speech project, but we can also get numerous feedbacks to our own enrichment. Thank you, Toastmaster Akil. And now, moving to our 5 individual speakers for today's session. And as we already heard 2 esteemed speakers from Toastmaster Taufik and also Toastmaster Akil, and now moving on to the next speaker. First, we are going to listen and witness Toastmaster Ellen as she's going to deliver her project, and I would like to invite her evaluator, who is none other than Toastmaster Kenrich Wardana from Tangerang Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Kenrich, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the evening. Hi, my name is Ganesh Wadana, representing Tangerang Toastmasters, and I will be evaluating Toastmasters Ellen. And what do I feel right now? I feel tired, I feel nervous, and I feel hungry. But life gave me two choices: either skip this Zoom call, go to eat, go to sleep, or evaluate the best speaker of this evening, Toastmaster Ellen. Toastmaster Ellen, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Toastmaster Ellen, 5 seconds to courage. 5 seconds to courage. Toastmaster Ellen.
My brain has a special talent. It can create 50 problems that don't exist in under 5 seconds. If overthinking were a sport, I wouldn't just win a gold. I would win gold before the race even starts. Because I'd already imagined every possible disaster. But the real problem isn't that we think too much. It's that we think so much, we stop moving. Tonight, I want to talk about a moment before the opportunity. A moment when our hearts whispers go and our mind screams no. And how 5 seconds can change everything. One day, I planned free webinar to build my coach brand. I was excited. I was ready. The poster was done. The only thing left was my finger clicking post button. Until my brain woke up. What if only one registers? What if people look down on you? What if your mom's register and even she leaves earlier? I imagine myself in an empty Zoom meeting, like waving in an empty chair, like a lonely flight attendant. My finger froze above the pause button. My heart said, do it. My brain said, let's think about it for 3 months. I did something different that changed everything. And that became the moment me choosing courage. I counted to 5. In those 5 seconds, something shifted inside me. Courage doesn't arrive all at once. I learned that courage arrives 1 second at a time. Second one, name the fear. I whisper to myself, I'm scared. And that makes the fear level goes down because you name it. Second two, allow the feeling. It's okay to be scared. Because scare is something that you have to maintain. Courage doesn't mean that absence of fear. Courage is fear with a good posture. Second three, get the direction. I ask myself, do I want to move forward? My fear said to me and asked, what if you fail? And my desire asked, what if you grow? And I chose desire. Second four, trust the preparation. Appreciate your preparation. I'm not very perfect in the preparation, not completely, but enough to not me embarrass myself too much. Second five, act. Just click the post button, and I did it. As a result, over 50 people registered. Nearly 30 people attended the webinar. Some of them became my clients. That experience taught me one important lesson, that overthinking almost stole the opportunity. Action creates the result. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, when the next time overthinking tries to hold you still, remember, thinking is useful. Overthinking is a trap. And action is to move forward, is the escape. So when you have prepared everything that you can, and the only thing that left is fear, show courage. Count to 5. Name the fear. Second, allow the feeling. Third, choose the direction. 4, trust your preparation. And 5, act. Because life doesn't wait for a perfect people. Life moves with the person who moves. And when your heart whispers, yes, and your brain said, no. 5 seconds. One choice, your courage. Back to you.
I'm starstruck. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Ellen for such a beautiful reminder. I truly loved one of the captivating sentence and statements that Toastmaster Ellen delivered was the reminder of courage is actually not the absence of fear, because sometimes fear itself overshadows us about not taking a step further with regard to dealing with the choices that we have to make. Thank you, Toastmaster Ellen. And next, we are going to have a sort of a bit new arrangement. And next speaker will be Toastmaster Faisal, as he's going to deliver his project. And I would like to invite his evaluator, who is none other than Toastmaster Shaida. So Toastmaster Shaida, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Garda. Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning, Toastmaster Shaida.
Yes, I'm really happy I can hear your voice, guys. So tonight is such an honor for me to be an evaluator for Toastmaster Faisal. And for this project, Toastmaster Faisal proposed speech for the member is to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. So Toastmaster Faisal in this project will show the develop an understanding of Toastmaster mentoring. Toastmaster Faisal's speech will with the title Outsmarted by Smartphone. Outsmarted by Smartphone, Toastmaster Faisal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saida. Happy morning, fellow Toastmaster and guests.
Happy morning.
Please
Happy morning.
react my chat with robot emoji if you ever paste your draft emails into ChatGPT and ask it to make your email sounds more professional. Anyone? Okay, I saw some people already emote my chat with emoji. It's fun because I do it too. So just this week, I had a problem with my coworker. He missed the assignment that I already asked to him to do it. So I opened ChatGPT, I clicked the text box, and wrote my run. How come you miss something that is very important to me? You messed my schedule up. How are you going responsible for it? F you. And then, just under my run, I asked ChatGPT to change above sentence into a professional email. 1, 2, 3. Boom! Suddenly, the AI gave me a professional email. I didn't even use my brain. I just wrote everything on my head. And then I just need to copy all the text that the AI gave me and send it to my coworker. Welcome to 2026, where our gadget is getting smarter and our brain is doing lesser work. So tonight, I want to talk about bad habit that might occur due to the tech improvement. Letting the technology to do the thinking for us. To show you what I mean, I will tell you a story that my friend and I had. So we want to have a lunch. We were planning to go to our favorite meatball store. We've been there for many times. And it is only 2 kilometers away. So basically, we already knew how to get there. But out out of my friend's pure habit, he pulled out his smartphone. He wrote the destination of the meatball store and then asked Google Maps to give direction for us to reach the meatball store. Halfway there, the app suddenly asked us to turn left. Well, basically, we just go straight. But since we were too lazy to think about it and our brains were already on autopilot mode, we just thought that, well, the smartphone is smarter than us. It has GPS, it has connection to the satellite. So let's just follow the blue arrow that is being given. Long story short, we end up stuck at the end, dark, dead end, small alley with a big wall in front of us. Meanwhile, the Google Maps application in my friend's application give mention that you have arrived. What do you mean by you have arrived? There is a big wall in front of us. Do you expect us to fly through the wall? That's impossible. So at that moment, we realize that we have traded our common sense to a screen. We feel so smart because we have smartphones. But it turns out that we were being outsmarted by it. I once read a book that taught me that your brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. So when everything in life becomes so instant, we might lose our critical thinking. And that is dangerous. How to fix this? When you have a problem in front of you, stop, take your phone right away. Let your brain struggle for a bit. Let your brain muscle sweat. Let yourself confuse. So next time you ask ChatGPT, you can trust, but don't forget to verify. Don't just accept whatever the internet feeds to you. Ask why. Why? Challenge it and see if what the internet gave you makes sense. Remember this. Technology can give us answer, but it can't replace our judgment. So we should use technology to support our thinking, not to replace it. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for such a beautiful reminder to Semester Faisal. Yes, I do agree with you that technology cannot replace our own judgments as well as we know it, because and I do love when you say that when we encounter a problem, let our mind works, because basically that is also the essence of us as a human, right? Nonetheless, forgive me, I will still use ChatGPT for those who are in need. Okay, before we proceed to the next round, I would like to encourage everyone, because this is one of the heartwarming sessions in the Toastmasters. If you do have a feedback for our speakers, feel free to jot down any kinds of feedback through the personal chat, because our speakers would really love to receive those feedbacks with regard to their own enrichment. Okay. Next, we are going to have the third session. It will be very special. The third speaker. It will be very special because we are going to listen and to witness a presidential speech. Why is that? Because our next speaker and evaluator were the presidents of SCBD Toastmasters Club. I would like to invite the evaluator, Toastmaster Donna, who is going to evaluate our speaker, Toastmaster Andika. Toastmaster Donna, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Past President, to Toastmaster Gordon. Happy morning, everyone. Good to see you again.
Good morning.
Happy morning.
Morning. My name is Donna, and it is my greatest honor to evaluate my beloved predecessor, Toastmaster Andika. He will be delivering his speech with the project Inspire Your Audience. Which was the level? Hang on, please. Let me find the level. Yeah,
3.
okay. Level 3, thank you. Level 3 project. I can't find it. That's okay. And then, on to the next part. I'd like to read out the purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. The purpose of this speech is for the member to inspire the audience. I truly look forward to this because I believe that inspiring others is absolutely Toastmaster Andika's forte. And without further ado, let us welcome Toastmaster Andika with the speech title, Guidebook. Guidebook, Toastmaster Andika.
When my son was younger, he was so into me. When he wanted to sleep, he wanted to sleep on top of me so I could hug him. When he had a question about math, he came to me and we solved the math problem together. I was his hero. At least that's what I felt. If he was Robin, I was his Batman. If he was Luigi, I was his Mario. And he was Ipin, I was his Upin. So everything laid in the guidebook. Every act is prescribed, and I went well with that guidebook. But then Godzilla came, the teenagerhood. Everything flipped 180 degrees. This hero became a cringe father. So every time I laid a joke, he didn't laugh. And then when I asked him a serious question, like one night, I asked him, "Hey, did you see my glasses?" And he just smirked and was like, "Boomer." Boomer? I'm not even in that generation. And I felt that I was being a hero and not anymore. And there was no guidebook about that transition. Then I did whatever people did when we had no clue. We overthought everything. In my case, I ended up sitting on my sofa, watching my TV, series of YouTube videos. Did you know why? Because YouTube algorithm didn't tick me off. It doesn't care about me being failed. It just threw video over a video. I knew it's not a good habit to stay there, but at least that was my escape room. I know that some of you haven't had children yet, let alone teenagers. But I do believe that most of us have been in that point where you felt that your life guidebook disappeared. You didn't know what to do. Everything that you felt that it was right, but it ended up wrong. It could be about your career. It could be about your relationship, or it could be about your life. Now, the problem is with me, I kept looking for an old guidebook for the past version of my son, which didn't exist anymore. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we face a problem, there are two choices. We can stand still, or we can be a pathfinder. A pathfinder will always go through all the challenges. They don't wait for direction. They don't care about making mistake. All they care about the people behind them, relying on them. So one night after watching this one YouTube video, I realized I should change. I could not see my son as the problem. The problem is how I view it. In life, maybe we don't need guidebook. because life isn't about to be followed as instructions. Life is about to be discovered. And if you still need guidebook, you can always write your own guidebook. It's your personal. There won't be any wrong or right. Those are experiences. So that's what I did. I changed the way I behave to my son. I didn't always try to win all the conversation. I tried to listen, although, it's very hard. And I tried to talk less. And even sometimes I was just with him, not saying anything, no fixing, no complaining. Is it working? I felt there was some progress. So Toastmaster and fellow soon-to-be Toastmaster, being a pathfinder for yourself is actually beneficial because you always have people behind you that rely on you. Remember, discover your life. If you feel stuck, it's okay. You don't need guidebook to follow through your challenges. You can always write the new one. So I encourage you to be your own pathfinder, because at the end of the journey, you will always arrive there with the people matter behind you. If we keep moving, you don't even need a guidebook. You can enjoy your life. And please keep moving. Back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting.
Peach.
Sigus Pish.
So many takeaways that we can get from Toastmaster Andika. Thank you. And let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Andika for such, very
Round
gentle
of
reminder
applause.
that,
Round of applause.
yes. I agree with what Toastmaster Andika said in his speech that life is not is about finding your own discovery, because at the end of the day it is your own choices. I love about the speeches that were delivered today was so in line. It's about making choices in our life, and again, it is not. It is actually coincidence that we have those speeches aligned with one another. And again, thank you to Mr. Andika. And for everyone, please jot down any feedback to our speakers. They will be very happy to listen to your feedback and to keep improving. And thank you again to Mr. Andika for again being a pathfinder, for using the WOD, or the word of the day. See, it also can enrich you in how to use the new vocabulary in your own sentence and your own speaking on a daily basis. Next, we are coming to the fourth speaker. That will be Toastmaster Sheila. So Toastmaster Sheila will be introduced by her evaluator. That will be Toastmaster Erlin from Jakarta Toastmasters Club. So Toastmaster Erlin, over to you.
Hello, everybody. This is my first time coming to SCVD. I'm from GTC, and today I'm going to introduce Sayla, the fourth speaker for tonight. And her speech is about evaluation and feedback. This is the second speech, so she will be applying the feedback that she have received before to this speech. And her speech is choosing happiness now. Choosing happiness now. Shayla, the time is yours.
How many times have we told ourselves, I will be happy if I get that job, if I start my own business. I will be happy, someday. But what if happiness is not waiting us in the future? What if it's a decision we can make right now? One of the most powerful ideas I learned from the book Courage to be Disliked is this: happiness is not something we achieve, happiness is something we choose. According to Adlerian psychology, described in this book, our lives are not determined by our past, but by our goals. We have been told why mental health crisis arises according to Sigmund Freud theory, the popular psychology figure. This book opened my eyes about the other psychological beliefs. Many of us may think, oh, I'm actually like this because I can do that. This is because of my past. I'm happy because of what happened for me in the past. It's my trauma. But Adler says that is not entirely true. Instead, we actually gave meaning to what we are believed. We gave meaning to our past based on the goals, on what we want to achieve today. Let me illustrate. Imagine a child who just feel bad for their mom. They're being scolded by their parents at first, and they decided to run out from their home. Have you ever experienced that? Or maybe your kids. At first, you might think, oh, they are just avoiding pains. But Adler will say the child has a goal. The child is not running away because they want to live in the street, but because they want the parents to feel worried, to feel lost, and with hopes in the future the parents wouldn't scold at them again. You know, the action is actually driven by purpose. And we may do the same. Some people might say, sorry, I cannot perform well on my job because my boss is just so bad. Yeah, I'm not confident because I failed in the past. I cannot change because, oh, sorry, this is just who I am. In Adlerian psychology, this is called the life lies. It is when we create excuses, often based on our past or limitations, to avoid taking responsibility for our present. Because staying the same feels safer than changing. But here's the truth: we always have a choice. Let me share my personal story. For years, I believed that I knew exactly what would make me happy is when I have the freedom to choose what I want to do in my life. Since junior high and high school, I told myself that I'm actually not good at math. I will be working in a creative industry, so I don't need to learn math that much. I'll be happy if I'm working in marketing. One day, I even built my life around this belief. I choose my major, marketing. I shape my ambition. I imagine my future. And eventually, I finally got there. I entered a management training program in an FMCG company where I can experience marketing and also sales. In the marketing stints, something unexpected happened. The dream job I had imagined didn't feel like a dream. I remember spending hours deciding the packaging color of the products that I want to launch, and I got feedback from a manager. What is it? Sheila, it is not purple enough. Not clear enough. Not good enough, but not purple enough. I remember also staying late on our shooting for an ads for hours late night because we have a child actors that need to do his one job to show the expression we want to see, and we waiting it for how many hours I cannot remember. And or spending entire day making a content brief for an influencer I actually never heard. And slowly I realized something uncomfortable. Maybe this is not what I want. And even I suddenly craving for the need to have something that is measurable, numbers. And the next year, I placed in sales division. A role I never planned for, a role I thought I didn't match who I was, but something just clicked. For the first time, I knew exactly what success looked like. A target, a number, a clear outcome. And one day, after a long presentation to a mini market buyer, they said to me, "Yes, Sheila, we want to list your product." And just that hits different. I feel that somebody acknowledged my effort. My manager acknowledged my effort. It felt measurable. It felt meaningful. And unexpectedly, it makes me happy. It makes me realize that happiness is formed through our own reality and belief. What belief do you choose to believe? Because if we are wrong, we may create limitation to support the story we want to believe. Just like my excuse for my struggle with numbers, I convinced myself I hated math and I didn't need it for the creative career I planned for the pursue, blah, blah, blah. And I just had to survive my school requirements just to finally be free, and yet I didn't reach it. Even I get valued in a field that numbers is our day-to-day language, sales. So be careful of how our brain works. What I did is just a totally cognitive bias that took me years to realize. So here's my message to you today. We can choose to be happy anytime if we free ourselves from our false beliefs. Happiness is not something we wait for in the future. It is what we choose now. And now, what we are choosing? I'm Sheila, back to you, Tom.
I got another starstruck from Toastmaster Sheila. What a wonderful and very captivating speech, Toastmaster Sheila. Especially your last remark as such a beautiful, even though it's just a simple question, but it takes us into your deep thought with regard to happiness itself, the existentialism. Just as Master Make mentioned in the chat box, that I do agree about happiness is something that we actually choose. The weather itself can be bad for some people, but others might perceive it as it's just a normal rain, So it depends on our mindset, how we perceive the situation that we deal on the daily basis. Thank you, Toastmaster Sheila, for being a pathfinder as well in delivering us such a new enlightenment with regard to the choosing itself. Next, we are coming to the last speaker of the day. That will be our very own member, Toastmaster Dede. So Toastmaster Dede will be evaluated by Toastmaster Nina, who's coming along from Pekanbaru Toastmasters. So Toastmaster Nina, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Tom, Toastmaster Garda. Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here and nice to see everyone. Today, I have the privilege to evaluate Toastmaster Dede, and the purpose of her project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Toastmaster Dede is doing her path engaging humor, and this is level 1, project 2. Speech title is Slow Down. Toastmaster Dede, slow down. Slow down, Toastmaster Dede. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Dede, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, without further ado, I'll call Toastmaster Dede. Time is yours.
What is the first thing that you come in your mind if you heard about Jakarta? Could you please chat on the box? Oh, traffic. Traffic. Opportunities. But for me, it's one word. Fast. As one of the big city in Indonesia, everything in here is so fast. People walk fast, People talk fast and people drive fast. Even when the traffic light has just turned green, someone in the behind already honking. I'm like, what? Please slow down. So, fellow Toastmaster, let's go back to 6 years ago when these marks were not fashionable. So 6 years ago, I arrived in Jakarta. Women, straying from village, completely alone, no maps, no friends, and no clue what I was getting into. But as the one to want to achieve my dream, work in Jakarta, I think, yes, I'm ready for Jakarta. But as the village people, actually, I had three things I couldn't stand in Jakarta in my first and second years in Jakarta. Could you imagine? The first is car. The second, air conditioning or AC. And the last is about FOMO. It's so hard when I heard about car, AC, and FOMO. Because as anak kampung, in my village, actually, I never ride or usually using car as my daily operation in my daily life. I only ride my bicycle or motorcycle. So I really had so much if I need to ride with the car, because when I open the door, the air of the cars make my stomach so bad. I feel like the chemical punch out my nose, and I just only need eucalyptus oil to make it feel better. And the driver asked me, "Madam, are you okay?" Inside of my heart, please calm down. But it's okay. Just continue the driver, Pak. But actually, I just want to ask to driver, please stop. But I can't because I need to go with the car as my work. And the second thing is because I work in Jakarta, so the office, it will be using the AC. And back in my village, I grew up with warm and natural air without air conditioning. So when my first time go to office, the room feels so cold. I feel like I was freezing, I even bring my own jacket. And I just want to ask to the, office boy to please slow down the AC, because I cannot feel comfortable with my office at all. And the last one about the FOMO, fear of missing out. In village, there is no trend. If you follow the trend, you will fall behind. Because trend in the village mostly something bad. But when I train in Jakarta, a lot of the FOMO happens in the social media or in my coworkers' information. It's something good if the activity is really relevant with our dreams. But a lot of the positive things on this era and also the bad things, I couldn't find the best that I need to choose. So I tried to visit one cafe to one cafe only for following my friends because he or she want to get into the trend of Jakarta. I was very busy at first and second year in Jakarta because I don't know what should I do. A lot of the opportunity, but I don't know what I need to focus on. And at the time, I asked myself, should I slow down? And 6 years ago was fast. And now, this day of feeling sick in the car and also surviving the always winter and join a lot of the trend in Jakarta, I feel like I need to slow down. Because the struggle that maybe you face is like small things. But for me, using car and deal with the AC is such a big deal. I need to face on my condition because everything is something new when I visit in Jakarta. Everything so fast. It's not because everything is ready or fast, but about the system is force you to be fast. So, fellow Toastmaster, slow down is not to focus or slow down is not to not ready for your life, but to filter what most powerful for your life. Back to our Toastmaster of the meeting.
Let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Dede for such a beautiful and giving us such a gentle reminder that actually the art of slowing down reminds us to bear in mind about the mindfulness. And it is such a gentle reminder as well that whenever you feel like your life is faster than the blink of an eye, just remember to slow down. Thank you, Toastmaster Dede, for your captivating speech as well. That concludes our 7 speakers for today's session. Wow, I was so mesmerized by the takeaways and also the speeches themselves delivered by 7 outstanding speakers. And now I'd like to call our gentleman, our timer, and ballot counter. First, I would like to call Toastmaster Naval as our timer about the timing report. Toastmaster,
Okay, Toastmaster Kader, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, I want to hello hello Toastmaster. I want to report our timer report. First, Toastmaster Taufik is give our speech in 7 minutes 52 seconds. Second is the Toastmaster Ekil 7 minutes 12 seconds. Third is Toastmaster Ellen 6 minutes 41 seconds. For Toastmaster Faisal is 7 minutes 17 seconds. Five is Toastmaster Andika 7 minutes 10 seconds. Six, Toastmaster Sheila is 7 minutes 24 seconds. Eight is last is Toastmaster Dede 7 minutes 19 seconds. Uh, all is all is eligible except Toastmaster Taufik who not pass the requirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Novel, for your time report. That concludes the speakers who are eligible to be voted. Nonetheless, regardless of the timing signal, we always love and truly support the speakers who have delivered and showed us their efforts in giving those enriching speeches. And I would like to call our ballot counter, Toastmaster Sony, to give us the instructions on how to cast our vote with regard to the favorite speaker. Toastmaster Sony.
Thank you, Mr. Tom. I have sent the voting link on the chat box. Please all click the link to vote your favorite speaker. For your information, we are only going to vote for the regular speakers. So for our edu speakers and guest speakers, we will not going to vote for them, but don't worry, we will have another acknowledge for them. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonny. While we are waiting for your ballot, I would like to ask a little bit chit chat to our guest here. I noticed we have Chita joining us. Hi, Chita. Can you hear me? And are you there? Guest Chita. Perhaps Chita is not available at the moment. I also noticed Enzo here. Hi, Enzo. Are you there?
Hello, hello.
Hi, Enzo. Thank you so much for coming to our meeting.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, may I know whether this is your first time visiting Toastmasters event or meeting?
This is my first one for this specific club. I've
Oh,
had a couple meetings before from other clubs.
right. Thank you so much for noticing us and thank you for coming into this session. Well, Enzo, thank you for tuning in. I would like to ask a little bit questions since the beginning. Since our theme for today's meeting is about breaking through the screen, perhaps you can share a bit with us about the most innovative idea that you have ever done.
The most innovative idea. Okay. So I'd say it's just building systems in my life, as in I'm a very heavy user of social media, whereas I always end up doom scrolling day and night. Whereas systems that I've placed now is that I'd say by uninstalling social media um throughout the day at like and at night I I stop myself from opening it and during the morning where when you usually wake up you always open like Instagram or TikTok. Yeah, I'd say that's one of.
Right. Thank you for sharing, Enzo. I generally see it as something, you built a system, but actually you also built a habit. That is a very healthy habit to live by, because sometimes doom scrolling can bring us to a point where we find ourselves fatigued or a bit restless. But at the end of the day, when you find that kind of system and it really helps, that really works for you. Thank you, Enzo, for
Right.
sharing. I hope that you can join our meeting again in the next round to come. And I hope that everyone also has casted your vote for the favorite speaker. And next, we are going to have our Zoom master to help us with photo session. Yay! Please, everyone, turn on your camera because we are going to capture your beautiful visual faces, expressions, so on and so forth. So, Toastmaster Kafa, the screen is yours.
Okay, let's capture the moment and the memory. Look at the camera and I will count it down. Okay, first picture. 3, 2, 1. Okay, wait. Okay, for the people who use the same pose, it will be put on a guillotine. Just kidding. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Why is my computer so slow? Never mind. Okay, there we go. Online photo session done. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kafa. Next, it is now the heart and the last part of today's session that will be led by none other than our beloved General Evaluator. Toastmaster Nata will lead the evaluation session, so Toastmaster Nata, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Garda, and happy morning, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Welcome to evaluation sessions, where we reflection and learn and grow together, constructive feedback. And let's us begin with the evaluations for our prepared speech of the day, and I would like to call Toastmaster Leonie, who will evaluate. This doing Toastmaster Akil and Toastmaster Leonie, the screen is yours.
Thank you for showing us what a semi-final level speech looks like and giving us the opportunity to learn from it. So let's start with what worked well. First, your visual hook. When you started the speech asleep and suddenly woke up, you immediately captured our attention, and it reminded us that a speech hook doesn't always have to come from words. Sometimes body language alone can make audience curious. Now, speaking of body language, you definitely have a wide range of movements, and it worked really well on the online. I noticed that, and I do believe that you will have no problem translating your performance to a larger stage. So if the delivery are so good, what else then? Well, I also enjoyed the structure of your speech. I found the humor landed so well, and the message also deep. But just like you said, what else? One opportunity I see is to increase the emotional stakes because I noticed that both of your main stories, Jim versus spending time with your wife, Haley versus homework, they were relatable, but it was a low stakes dilemma. So this is why I was interested in the story about you and your coach. It had the potential to be the most powerful part of the speech. Maybe you can tell a story about you versus a stable job versus being an entrepreneur, stable life versus leaving your country. That way you could help us understand the stakes and why that conversation with your coach was so transformative. And it also helped the audience to feel a stronger emotional connection with your key messages. And what else then? Well, not much though, because I think we already learned about visual hooks. We have dynamic delivery and how to challenge ourselves to look beyond two choices. For consideration, you could also consider about adding some high emotional stake story. Thank you for the speech, Akil, and good luck for the semi-finals. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leonie, for the insightful evaluation to DTM Akil. And the next, I would like to call Toastmaster Kenrich, who will evaluate Toastmaster Ellen. Toastmaster Kenrich, the screen is yours.
Every time I go to haunted house, I am always scared. I like to hold still in the doorway. After hearing my speaker tonight, I suddenly have the courage to go to a haunted house on my own. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the perfect example of the speaker's ability to connect and relate with the audience. My speaker this evening talked about how we can trick fear and how we can pick up courage to do something we worry about. To make this excellent speech more compelling, I noticed that there were a few details that can be fixed. For example, on your recommendation on how to pick up courage, blah 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 blah, 2 blah 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 blah. What we could have done to make it more impactful is one Mississippi, two Mississippi. This can make your transition more intentional to prevent yourself from immediately jumping into the next recommendation. It gives more slower vibe and pace. And one more recommendation that can make your speech more impactful is your pitch. Your pitch remain fairly consistent throughout the speech. By raising and lowering your voice at strategic moments can make your delivery create more emotion. For example, instead of until my brain woke up, you can until my brain woke up. It adds more emotion to it. So to challenge yourself further, let's make your speech let's make your pitch more impactful by incorporating greater vocal variety. In addition, let's make your uh, let's make your transitions more intentional, taking a brief pause before moving to your next point will help prevent you from immediately jumping into the next idea and create a more deliberate, effective pace. Back to you.
Okay, thank you for Toastmaster Kenrich for the evaluation to Toastmaster Ellen. And the next, I would like to call third evaluation speaker to Toastmaster Shaida, who will evaluate Toastmaster Faisal. For Toastmaster Shaida, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, our beloved GA, Toastmaster Renata. Technology can give us answer, but it can't replace our judgment. The quote's really impressive from Toastmaster Faisal's speech tonight. So, Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, the most impressive speech, the most impressive part that I really like from Toastmaster Faisal is about the interaction. He opened the speech with interaction, grabbing attention with engaged storytelling, because he asked us and he wait our answer and then he give the response. That's really cool for this. And not not only it, but also Toastmaster Faisal grabbing attention with a related story. His personal story actually relate with our story, ladies and gentlemen, using AI, using Google Maps, and using ChatGPT. That's really relate with us. So we can get many tips for our fellow ChatGPT users from Toastmaster Faisal. That's really nice. So that's for the Toastmaster Faisal Strong. And I noticed also Toastmaster Faisal Strong with deliver storytelling a bit. There is a humor. That's really nice. That's really amazing. To make your humor more engaging, I suggest you to use more vocal variety and then the facial expression. For example, when you told us, do you expect us to fly the wall? Maybe you can use the vocal variety and facial expression. Just like, do you expect us to fly the wall? Just like shock, just a bit shock, not flat. That's the suggest from me. And then the one minor things that you can use for your next speech is about camera engagement because we believe in our online meeting the engagement through the camera is very crucial because we can see the speaker, we can see the audience only through the camera. And I notice you sometimes you see the screen or some book, maybe you forget something. Maybe if you forget something, I suggest you just tell what you want to tell, because the audience not don't know what your notes, so just let it go. So all in all, overall, your speech are really nice, are really engaging. I really like your humor. So the challenge for you, the next is about engagement from the camera and then for facial expression. That's all. Back to our G.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Shada, for the thoughtful evaluation. And next, I would like to call Toastmaster Donna, who will evaluate Toastmaster Andika. For Toastmaster Donna, the screen is yours.
What you doing? From first grade to sixth grade, I used to call my mom without fail every afternoon at 4 p.m. after school. As soon as I reached 13 years old, I kind of forgot. So, just like Tuesday Andika's son, puberty happens. Tuesday Andika shared his experience with falling from grace as a father as he entered his son's teenage years. Who used to be a sweet boy is now a bitter boy. Puberty comes with a lot of changes, and here are a few things happening in puberty that I want to share about Professor Nika's speech. First are the growth spurts. We grow so fast during those transformative years. Professor Nika's structure is super solid. He uses his signature structure move, which is the hero's journey, starting with an anecdote of normal life. It's vivid and descriptive. It provides contrast during the conflict, and then starting to the solution, a resolution, and then the takeaway. It's very easy to follow, it's imaginative, and it always catches our attention. Second, very clear takeaway. Be a pathfinder and keep moving, even when the world doesn't look like the guidebook you once had. Tesla succeeded to inspire us to decide and find confidence and keep moving forward despite new terrains and uncertainty. However, this time in life also comes with its own pimples. Here are the few things that Tesla can improve in his speech. First, I felt like Toastmaster Andika started kind of losing the point at the end. I kept hearing, you don't need a guidebook, you're a pathfinder, and it felt as if he was trying to reach for a quote that he couldn't really pick out. So I felt that that was something quite noticeable for me. And second, there was quite lack of a story resolution before the takeaway. I understand that he found methods to engage his son again, but if only there were scenes of it rather than just listing the methods in which he engaged his son. So, lastly, I'd like to challenge Toastmaster Andika to prolong the main scene of learning and character development in the resolution rather than just listing it out, which will strengthen his resolution and ending. So to summarize, Toastmaster Andika had a solid structure, has a clear takeaway, but kind of lost the point at the end and needs a more visible scene for his resolution. Thank you. Hope you can grow together in your path. And I'd like to give the control back to our general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Donna, for your detailed and very structured evaluation. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Adeline, who will evaluate Toastmaster Sheila. Toastmaster Adeline, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. So, Sheila, I wanted to ask you, Do you actually believe in destiny, girl? Because you know what? We have three similarity. I'm not joking. One, I study in design and work as a lecturer in design major for 13 years. And two, I also work in creative industry and I do shooting too. And three, I also hate math. So I believe it's like this is meant to be. So yeah, so your speech hits close to home for me, and everything you said is like very relatable to how I feel and my life. And I wanted to say there's three things that I love from your speech. One, you gave a great theory from Sigmund Freud, psychological theory, and you referred to a book. It shows how well educated you are and you are well written and everything. And two, close in the ending, you become very lively and alive when you are sharing a story from your own personal life. So that is the highlight, the creme de la creme of your speech is actually when you are excited to tell how horrible it is working in the creative industry. So yeah, you should use your personal story more because that is when you did your best. So three, you had a beautiful word. There's so many. I will name a few of it. Happiness is something we choose. Action driven by purpose. And then like I miss a few couples beautiful word. We can choose to be happy. It is what we choose now. And yeah, there's so many beautiful well written word that you have chosen, but I do believe you still have room for improvement. And my feedback to straighten your speech is actually uh one, your opening needs to be tighter. So I heard so many beautiful flaunting word will actually confuse us. So it would be better if you actually made it simpler, just a few of the best of word that you want to punch in the beginning, and then you continue to your story with maybe a background story or something, and then we can go on. So you don't need to like use every every beautiful word you have. Just pick a few of it because we will get lost in the garden of words. So and then two, I can see that you were reading your script and not truly present. I can see your eyes reading the lines. You're like searching your words and like, where am I? What am I saying? What do I mean by saying it? You were not there, girl. So that is not your best. So yeah, that is the few of my evaluation for you, the best for you in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Erlin, for comprehensive evaluations. And the last evaluation, I would like to invite Toastmaster Nina, who will evaluate Toastmaster Dede as a fifth prepared speech today. And Toastmaster Nina, the screen is yours.
All right, thank you, GE, Toastmaster Nata. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations, Toastmaster Dede, for delivering your level 1.2 project. When listening to Toastmaster Dede, I was thinking the path is about engaging humor. So I was waiting for the humor in Toastmaster Dede's speech. And yes, she did. There are a few things that I like about Toastmaster Dede's speech. First, when she began her speech, Toastmaster Dede tried to engage with the audience with asking the question. And she said about, oh, yeah, I remember the question. So what do you think about Jakarta? And then the audience mentioned it on the chat box. So it was a good it was a good opening for her speech. And then she began by telling about her experience, her story, when she first moved from her village or from her hometown or to Jakarta 5 years ago. I think I could relate, and I cannot imagine myself leaving from Pekanbaru and then moving to Jakarta with all the traffic. Even I feel that now Pekanbaru is a traffic is already in the fast mode, like traffic, but not so traffic, yeah, as in Jakarta. So yeah, and it's a good story as well. And the second thing is I especially like that you had a good body language and you use humor in your speech because related to your path. However, I have some recommendation for you. Although you had a good call to action because you told the audience to slow down and then do what it's meant for us to do first, or maybe we have some few things that we need to do, but we have we can slow down and prioritize the things that we should do first and so on. However, I think it was just about your expression because you were trying to run on the stage. I mean, when you said that it was a fast, slow down, and maybe during the Zoom, maybe if you can stand back and then let your expression go. So you may utilize the stage more, I think, because you were running and then you told and then you run, but if you can stand back and you can utilize the stage more. And that was from me. Overall, it was a good speech. You met the purpose of the speech, had a good call to action, and had a good structure. We could follow your story and just can stand back and let your expression go. Thank you. Back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nina, for your evaluation. And let's give applause to our evaluator of the day. And now I would like to invite our timer, Toastmaster Naufal, to deliver the timer's report. And Toastmaster Naufal, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Nata. And I will announce the eligible list of the evaluation session. First, Toastmaster Leonie have 3 minutes 14 seconds. Second, Toastmaster candidates have 2 minutes 50 seconds. Third, Toastmaster Saida have 3 minutes 22 seconds. Four, Toastmaster Donna have 3 minutes 20 seconds. 5. Toastmaster Erlin have 3 minutes 12 seconds. 6. Our last Toastmaster Lina is have 3 minutes 28 seconds. All is eligible to be voted. Thank you. Back to you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naufal. And the next, I would like to call Toastmaster Sony as a belt counter. The screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nata. I have shared the link on the chat box, so please vote for your most favorite evaluator. Thank you. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sony. And now we will done the evaluator and timer. Don't forget to vote at the chat box. And I would like give a feedback as a general evaluator. I would like to commend everyone for making today's meeting a success. First, please join me in giving a round of applause to our prepared speech today and evaluator for their dedications and value contributions. And then we also had the opportunity to learn from an educational session from Toastmaster Taufik and a special guest speaker from DTM Akil, which made today's meeting even more enriching. And then today we have 7 speakers. There is 1 edit speech, 1 guest speech, and 5 prepare speech speaker. And the meeting overall very smooth and well organized with our role taker for today. And then I will say thank you to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster, like bell counter, timer, speakers, evaluators, and who's people. Oh, and then our guest, Toastmaster of the day. And then thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm feel like and thank you. And now I will next to next session. I would like to call Hall of Fame for today, Toastmaster Sony. Toastmaster Sony, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam G, for your wonderful evaluation. Now, it's time for us to see who are the best of the best from tonight's meeting. But before we announce the result, let me give some special appreciation. First is to our EduSeries speaker, Toastmaster Taufik. Thank you for becoming our EduSeries speaker today. Can someone help taking the photos, please?
All right, in a second. Spotlight. Wait. All right, 3, 2, 1. Wait, let me enlarge your screen. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, all done.
All right, now the next one is for our special guest speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Akil, for delivering a wonderful speech on our club. Thank you so much.
All right, taking your picture in 3, 2, 1. Okay, could you do a gym pose? Okay, 3, 2, 1. All done. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, this is the most interesting session to know who is the best speaker. Before I announce who is the best speaker, I have to apologize that I promised to award 2 best speaker. However, almost all speakers have tied, have same number of voting, and there is only one speaker who get more votes by 1 vote only. And therefore, I only able to award 1 speaker, one of the best speaker for tonight. And it's no other than... Congratulations, Toastmaster Sheila. Woohoo!
All right, taking pictures. Give us your best pose.
Thank you.
In 3, 2, 1. One more time. 3, 2, 1.
Sorry.
Okay, wait. All right. Pictures have been taken.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay,
so
thank
much
you.
and
Thank
congratulations.
you all. Thank you, Sonny. Thank you.
Now, for the best evaluator, I will also award two best evaluator for tonight, and luckily this is no tie for the best evaluator. But wait a minute, because I will update it on the spot. Let me update it for a while. The name. All right. Oops, sorry. This should be here. And our second best evaluator for tonight goes to Toastmaster Donna. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, taking your picture in 3, 2, 1. Oh, same pose.
Uh-huh.
Same pose with Akil.
Oh,
Just now.
really?
Yeah, really. All right, one more time. Three,
Okay.
2, 1. All right, all done.
Thank you.
And who is the best one? The most favorite evaluator for tonight? Can anyone guess? And our best evaluator for tonight is no other than Toastmaster Ken Rich.
Wow.
Is Toastmaster Ken Rich still here? Yes, he's
Yeah,
here.
I'm still here. Hello.
Right, give us your best pose, Kenrich. All right, one more time. Anyone can be Rich. Oh, my laptop is taking its time. All right. All good, all good. Back to you, belt counter.
Thank you and congratulations for all the best speakers and evaluators for tonight. Now let me give the control back to Mr. Tom.
All right, thank you, our ballot counter and general evaluator, for such a delightful evaluation session that we have tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and soon-to-be Toastmasters, that concludes our meeting for today. But before I hand this session over to our Vice President Operations and the Madam President, I would like to give a closing remark and also a reminder that next week, we are going to have a hybrid meeting on June 19th, on Friday, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Jakarta time. Before we start our meeting at 7 p.m., we are going to have, networking session. I forgot the word. The networking session as well as a light dinner at Nekorenju Ramen. But if you cannot join us on site, you can always join us online via Zoom. Feel free to jot down your feedback and also your, enthusiasm to our officers. We are very happy and delighted to welcome you and host you in our next meeting. I'm Garda. Thank you so much for listening and tuning into our session. I hope that you can be your own pathfinder from now on so that each and every one of us will have to make a bold decision when we are given the choices. Thank you, and I'm your Toastmaster of Meeting signing out. Back to you, Vice President of Operations.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Ricardo. And I will not be speaking in Victorian poshness anymore. In all seriousness, with the language changes, the spirits of our club remains the same. Part of my duty as the SAA is to ensure every soul enters the digital estate. Feels like an honored guest. Now, to bring us to our welcoming ambassador spotlight, this role is the heartbeat of our meeting. Their job is simple but vital to break the ice, share the vibe, and make sure the supportive and kind environment we talk. Am I okay? I'm a couple. Sorry. We talk about in the house is felt by everyone. To kick things off, I would like to invite guest Intan. Are you there?
Hi, Toastmaster Kava.
All
Yes,
right.
I am here.
I'm going to do a mini table topic, let's say. I'm going to ask you a question that sounds simple but complex in a storytelling way. I guess Intan, could you mute for a moment and tell us a bit about yourself? That's the question. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. Thank you for giving me opportunity to share about myself. Good happy morning, everyone. I'm Intan. Okay. Uh, I am a working mom with two kids. Recently, I live in Bekasi, and I love learn. I don't know why I just love learn. That's why I joined today's session and meet great people via this meeting. Uh, and I also like to expand myself with new things, new experience, new hobby. Recently, I like to do the walking tour. I join certain community of walking tour to uh, to go to a new place. Most of them is in Jakarta. Uh, I like to go, for example, to Glodok, to certain places that give me knowledge about history. And I just realized that I like history because joining on this community. Uh, and the rest about myself is because my background is in basically on psychology. I also like to observe people. Uh, so I learn from others by observing them, how they act by themselves, how they speak, etc. And that's make me realize that sometimes I need also not only be observer, but I need also to stand out from the crowd by being open with myself to be stand out in term of for example to expand my knowledge in as a public speaker. I think that's all from myself, Toastmaster Kava. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. By you stepping out of your comfort zone just now, it's already standing out. And for the next, I would invite one of our most memorable VTMs, Toastmaster Mick. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I haven't prepared a question for you.
That's great. We can move on, right?
Maybe tell us about yourself in this past 3 months.
Good question. Sure. Well, I think I'd like to return to the idea of existentialism as a way to understand ourselves. And I think what I can always say that I'm constantly evolving, I'm constantly learning and unlearning. So I think for the past few months that I've been away, I've been discovering new aspects of myself, and one of which was that I can unlearn new things. And I think today is the Independence Day in the Philippines, and although we are a sovereign country, but I feel like there are still a lot of things that we need to unlearn and to decolonize ourselves, because it is only in decolonizing in the way we think about ourselves, about others, that we can say that we are truly free, not just as a state, but also as a people. So I think that's how I would describe myself. I am constantly decolonizing myself. Did that make sense?
I can grasp it a bit. so I'm learning to learn. You cannot fill a glass that is already full, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
never judge a book by its cover.
Oh my! Never judge a book by its cover. Thank you very much. And all of us as GVD members, visiting Toastmasters, we all send prayers to Philippine.
Thank you.
And thank you. That's all from me. That I'm going to give the control to our Madam President. Toastmaster Leonie, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Yo. And thank you, Mr. VPO, and thank you for all of you today, our amazing SCBD Toastmasters Club members, our visiting Toastmasters all the way from Jakarta, Pekanbaru, Philippines, Labuan, and even BRICS Plus itself. So we have such a diversity of visiting Toastmasters today. Thank you so much for coming to SCBD Toastmasters Club meeting, and also our distinguished guest today. Thank you for coming. And yeah, just like what our Tom said, we are going to have next week meeting, which is a hybrid meeting, but you could always come online if you want to. And I would like to give a congratulation, a huge one, to our first time role taker. Please give a congratulation and mute yourself to Toastmaster Nata, who become our general evaluation today. First timer as general evaluator. Congratulations, Toastmaster Nata. And if you want to know more about SCBD Toastmasters Club, you can contact our Vice President of Membership, Toastmaster Sultan. That is all from me as the club president, and with the power vested in me, I would like to officially adjourn this meeting by saying, Happy morning!
Happy morning.
Happy morning. Bye-bye.
Happy morning.